Every time I help someone new get into Airbnb, I make sure they follow these 3 simple steps. And the first step, you need to choose the right area. If you pick the wrong area, you get no bookings, which is no cash. If you pick the right area, you get bookings, cash, and then profit as well. So how do we know an area is profitable? The first thing is demand. It needs to be near employers, hospitals, events, travel hubs, regeneration projects, and tourist attractions. If the rates for 1 to 2 beds are £80 per night plus, and 3 to 4 beds are at £150 per night plus, that is a good sign. Occupancy should be mostly booked for the next 4 to 6 week outing calendars, and you can check this if you go on Airbnb or booking.com. You can literally just click on the calendars and see how booked out people's properties are. Another clue is if hosts have multiple properties in one area, then this is proof of profit and probably a good sign for the area is going to work. The different softwares you want to use are Property Market Intel, and you want to use Price Labs Market Dashboard, and you want to use AirDNA. This is going to give you a good idea of 90 rates, occupancy, and the overall revenue for the year. So I'd recommend those 3, Property Market Intel, Price Labs Market Dashboards, and AirDNA. With that first step, you also need to decide whether you're going to go local or remote, and how far is too far away from you. So the sweet spot for me is 1 to 2 hours radius max from where you currently live. It's too far if you can't respond fast or manage the quality. You should only go remote when you have all the solid systems in place and the local support. I always recommend start locally and then expand gradually. If we look at the local operations versus remote operations, you can see local operations have faster response times, easier quality management, local support available. With remote operations, it's going to be a slower response time, challenging quality management, and it requires a solid system. So start locally and then expand gradually once you have the rock solid systems in place. Next up, you need to understand seasonality within this first step. So if it's coastal, there's going to be a summer boom and the winter might be dead. Business areas might have busy weekdays, but then dead holidays. Event areas have spikes and slumps throughout the year. When doing the analysis, make sure to check calendars for both February and August bookings to see that difference in price. If it's higher during August, lower during February, it's probably going to have some sort of seasonality. This is what the seasonality booking cycle is, and this is where kind of the cycle you're going to follow when you work out what seasonality actually looks like in an area. So first off, you need to identify the seasonality, which is what we went through just there. So recognize the reoccurring seasonal trends. Next, you need to analyze that booking data. So examine past booking records, predict future trends. You can forecast upcoming booking patterns, adjust the strategies, monitor performance going forward, and that is the flywheel that will keep on ticking as you go around. So the next step, the simple step you want to follow, is defining your offer. If you have no clarity, you're going to get no clients. If you nail your offer, you'll become the obvious choice for them. So there's a couple of offers you can offer, and the first one is a full management, which is a turnkey operation. This is where you literally handle everything: listings, pricing, guests, cleaners, reviews. The landlord has passive income and monthly reports that come in, and you position yourself as you stay the owner and we're going to run the business. You've got optional upsells, which include interior design, staging, amenities, and additional direct booking support. Another offer is co-hosting. So this is where there's a hands-on owner, but you are the expert partner. So you manage all the online side and the guest side, and the landlord handles the property and the setup itself. This is perfect for DIY and owners who want the support, but not a full handover. So you need to use the phrase, we do the digital and you keep control. You need to make sure when you define your offer, you set your pricing that converts, right? You need to use a hybrid model. So somewhere between 14 to 22% plus VAT, plus a monthly fee, e.g. £150 a month, which creates value in your business. This minimum monthly fee is no matter what happens, you're gonna get paid £150 per month, which then creates value if you ever wanna sell the business in the contract. You need to include a setup fee, somewhere between £250 to £750 for onboarding, and offer a tiered approach. So basic co-hosting could be around 10%, standard full management around 18%, and premium VIP could be 25%, plus which includes all the extras. Myself, I do monthly is 22% plus VAT, 6 months is 18% plus VAT, and annual contract, 12-month contract is 14% plus VAT, just to push people to sign that longer contract, which ultimately creates more value in my business. Now, something that's super important when you're defining your offer with landlords, create boundaries. This is going to give you so much peace of mind in the future. So you need to define what is included and what is not included. Set your working hours and your emergency protocols. Train landlords early. Don't make sure that texting at 10 p.m. is not part of the deal. Lock this into your onboarding document and your contract. So make sure this is super clear. It will save you so much peace of mind in the long term. The final step is knowing your audience and know your target landlord. If you speak to the right landlord and solve the right problem, you can pitch the right way, then you're going to get an ideal landlord. So defining your ideal landlord is going to be someone who owns well-located properties, wants hands-off income, willing to invest in the setup, and he respects your time, he or she. The types to target are busy professionals, hands-off investors, and overwhelmed first-time homes. You need to avoid people who are micromanagers, low ballers, unrealistic ROI dreamers, or penny pinchers. If they have unrealistic ROI dreamers, these are people who have been sold a deal and expect loads. So creating that expectation, which kind of goes back to over here, boundaries, peace of mind, you need to work out what is this landlord actually expecting to make from this Airbnb, because if you can't fulfill that, then you don't want to be working with that landlord. Next, you need to speak to their pain points. So when a landlord's on their own, they're gonna have a lot of pain points. They have no time to manage guests or cleaners, listing isn't making enough money, bad guests, poor reviews, etc. There's visible host problems. So these are the immediate issues that are faced by hosts, right? Time management issues. The host is struggling with managing guests and cleaners. Financial underperformance. Listings aren't generating sufficient income. Guest and review problems. Host dealing with bad guests and poor reviews. Cleaner and tech issues. Cleaners are stressed. Host feels overwhelmed. And then ultimately that leads to hosting overwhelm, which hosts feels like it's a very demanding second job. And you can obviously position your offer as the hands-free plus the income boosting service. Speak to their pain points. All those pain points there, speak to them when you are offering your service. And finally, you need to build your value proposition. So use the formula we help who get results by how. So example, we help busy landlords earn from short lets by managing everything remotely. Or we turn underperforming Airbnbs into 5-star listings by handling guest experience, pricing, and ops. You need to lead with your strength. Strong systems, 24/7 guest support, multi-platform expertise, pro-level photos, pricing reviews. And that's it. 3 simple steps. Step 1, choose the right area. Step 2, define your offer. And then step 3, know your audience. If you're getting started on Airbnb, you need to make sure you follow these simple steps before getting started. I'll see you in the next one.